My name's Alexander Leeming Froudakis. I grew up in Greece, in Crete, and I came over to DBS to study music production and sound engineering, and I'm currently working as a composer for film and TV, producer and sound engineer. So working with Neil Davidge has been a real pleasure. It's a funny story actually, but when I graduated back in 2018, I had to go back to Greece and join the army for a year because it's mandatory over there. So when I came back, I didn't really have any contacts in the music industry. I didn't really know how to continue. So it was just a process of working really hard in the studio, focusing on improving my MIDI mock-ups and my general production skills. And around that time, I saw on the internet that there was a composer meetup going on in Bristol. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to that meetup because I didn't know the people and I was a bit nervous, but you have to put yourself out there, so I went. And then I just got started talking to different people, just connecting on a very friendly level. The atmosphere was very friendly. And then a few weeks later, I posted my work I was doing at the time on internet. And I received a comment from someone saying, from that meeting that I met earlier on, and they asked if I wanted to work for Neil because he was looking for an assistant at that time to work with his arrangements. And so obviously at that moment I was terrified, but I accepted the position, and from there on it's been, a couple of years now working together. First project we worked on was All or Nothing, featuring Tottenham Hotspur, a documentary basically about football, which was really interesting. Neil would provide ideas or basic arrangements that he would send over, and I would mainly work on the orchestration of that, developing the MIDI production. And sometimes if he didn't have the time, and I was lucky, I might be able to score a scene. We also worked on another multi-episodic series called Britannia and Earth's Great Rivers. Basically, it was just great to see the workflow of composer of his standard. Taking part in orchestral recording sessions has been invaluable, knowing how deadlines work and how a team works together as well. Queen Charlotte was another interesting story. So basically, my friend Mike Froudakis, who's also a composer, he specializes in trailer music, he was in touch with a sync agent in Los Angeles. And word had it that Netflix was looking for cover songs for the Queen Charlotte series. We only had a couple of days to do it, and most on the list were from Beyonce. So basically we sent them, I think in total was like 6 covers. Didn't hear anything for the next 5-6 months, and then it was actually on the day of my birthday, found out that Deja Vu was chosen to be on episode 4 of Queen Charlotte. And to my surprise as well, because we sent them the sheet music to be recorded, they actually used the actual mock-up and the mix I programmed and did. So that was a great surprise. Yeah, so When the Floods Come was a very important project. It was an honor to work on. Basically, Pakistan faced its worst floods in 2022, and it affected 30 million people. So during my master's, I was able to collaborate with filmmakers from the UE Wildlife Department. So that's where I met Niall. And we just got started talking about the project and what his goal was. Essentially, we wanted to, with the music, to sort of provide a voice to the whole story. Winning the student BAFTA, of course, was a great honor. It was a real surprise to find out that we were going to go to Los Angeles. And then, of course, when they announced the name, When the Floods Come, it was just a very surreal moment for us. But most importantly, apart from the success of the film, we were just really happy that the voices of the people that were featured in the film got heard, got recognized, and we were just happy that people are now seeing it. So a lot of my work nowadays is with human rights at sea, and together with When the Floods Come, sparked a real interest in working with real-life documentaries and real people. A goal of mine as a composer is to be able to use my musical skills in order to provide a voice for these untold stories. But at the same time, what I love about film is that every film can be so different, and stories are so different as well. So it's always a really nice challenge to be able to work in different genres and get lost in different stories, I suppose. Freelance work is tricky. It can be very difficult. But of course, the key to, as with any success, I guess, is just perseverance. So it's keep working on your craft, keep networking. Networking is the most valuable thing I think anyone could do in the creative business, which essentially is just making friends. We always think of networking as this scary thing that we have to sort of endure, but it's just making friends and knowing what's going on, you know, in the industry. And of course, doing your best work is always important. So whatever it is you're working on, doing your best and then sharing that with the world is very valuable. Yeah, so when I grew up in Greece, I was playing the piano. So I played that for around 10 years. That was my only contact with music until I came to DBS. Of course, the facilities here are amazing. The insight from the tutors is really good. So with the experience I had from recording bands and using the equipment, it really trained my engineering side of things, which of course is very valuable as well in film music. Because of course, with film music and with the deadlines that are today, you have to almost do everything, right? You have to be the composer, you have to be the mixer, you have to be the arranger, the orchestrator. I feel that in DBS, I really got a good all-round knowledge of engineering and just communicating with people. Because I grew up in Greece, I didn't really have any contacts here. So DBS for me was my community in those first years when I came over. And it was a great place of sharing ideas and meeting lots of new people. And of course, it's very important that the people that you meet early on in your career are collaborators. And it was a very important part of my progress, and it really propelled me into gaining the confidence in starting a career in music.